Need a boost? Sometimes all it takes is tapping into your inner cool. Icebreaker's gum helps you unleash the confidence within. Each chew releases a rush of icy flavor powered by cooling flavor crystals, sending a wave of refreshment to reinvigorate all your senses. Icebreaker's convenient pack fits everywhere, from car cup holders to backpack pockets, so you can find your cool wherever you go. Grab Icebreaker's gum online or at a store near you.
You know what's really terrifying? That unfinished college degree lurking in the background, just sitting there, waiting for you. That's where Southern New Hampshire University comes in. With flexible online degree programs, there's no commuting, no rigid schedule, and no more excuses. Plus, they have some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to learn more before your degree becomes just another story about what could have been. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid.
Whoop, whoop.
Morbid. Hello.
That's what we are.
Talk about a bunch of morbid things here. That's what we do.
That's
in case
what
you're
we've
new.
Been doing.
Welcome to the crew.
Hey.
I don't have any more rhymes.
You know what? It didn't even occur to me that you were rhyming.
I know it didn't.
I was just over here in my own little world. Like,
I could see it on your face. You were just like, yeah, totally. All
my
right.
coffee hasn't taken full effect yet.
It has not, and that's
And yes,
okay.
I am back on the coffee.
Back on that coffee.
I can't say no to you.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Or no, what is it? I can't quit you.
I can't quit you. Coffee.
That from?
Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain. All right.
An iconic film.
Can't quit you.
I love it. Well, I think one thing we just wanted to touch upon, because it like shocked both of us.
Terrifying.
Is that condo collapse in Miami, Florida is like breaking my heart, shocking my brain. I just cannot get over it.
I just don't understand how that happens. Like, how do you neglect a building for that long?
I'm very interested to see what comes out about what was going on there, because
Yeah.
I think it was built with like, cement and like rebar and all that. So I don't know if there was something like they should have been taking care of it or fixing something.
Right.
But the video that came out of it is absolutely horrifying. And I think there's 99 people still unaccounted for. 4 people are dead now. Mm-hmm. It's horrifying.
Well, and just to see like all the family members of just like their mom lived there, their sister lived there. It's how do you? I just can't even imagine like putting my brain through that.
I don't know how they went to sleep last night, like any of them, and were able to even take a moment to breathe.
And
because
they're showing like all the pictures of everybody missing, and it just makes you want to. I got like a lump in my throat this morning
because I just pictured knowing that your loved one is trapped under that rubble,
like,
and
rubble,
it's like and you can't do anything. It's just like you're totally helpless. Totally helpless. Like, it just really breaks my heart. So we wanted to send our love and thoughts to, all our Florida weirdos and all our Miami weirdos. And I really hope none of you have family members that are involved in this. But if you do, like, we are sending so many thoughts and like love to you. But it's just really sad. So we just wanted to talk about it really quick because we were like really bummed out about it this morning.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get some good news out of it. I hope some good stories come out where people
are found,
manage to be found alive. So
exactly.
We'll definitely keep paying attention to that. But we are going to continue on with our series about John Edward Robinson.
Do we have to?
Let me tell you. This guy.
I'm actually joking. I'm very intrigued to see what happens next.
This guy.
The balls.
I mean, it's like truly, it's
the kahunas on this one.
Oh, you think you know?
No, I really don't.
You think
though.
you know.
I don't.
You don't know.
I know I don't.
I mean, it's... No, I don't.
I ruined your bit because I don't know.
No one knows. Now, I want to plug one more time the book, Anyone You Want Me to Be. John Douglas was like a huge part of this book. Everybody knows John Douglas. He's huge in the true crime world.
Hell yeah.
Hello, Mindhunter. And it was written with Steven Singular, and they did, I'm telling you, read this book. I have it on the Kindle Cloud Reader, and it is unbelievable. I've read it cover to cover in 2 nights. I could not put it down.
Yeah.
It is so in depth. I'm going to give you like what I can out of this, but there is so much more in this book, and I want you to go get it and read it because it's fucking amazing.
Sometimes
we love John Douglas.
Do you ever just feel like we're doing like book reports sometimes?
I do, and I love it.
I'm presenting it to the class,
and I'm like,
you gotta read this.
You gotta read this book. And again, John Douglas. Hello. So, and it's just amazingly told. I mean, they go into so much detail. There's so much more detail about this stuff that I can't even go into. So you gotta read the book because the vast amount of fraud, scamming, of, just all kinds of shit that this dude, I mean, like affairs, the amount of affairs this man was having while being a father and a grandfather and also a scam artist and a murderer is like outrageous.
He was living so many lives.
Outrageous. So go read the book because after you listen to the episode, because it's so amazing. So, all right. So when we last talked to you in part 1, and by the way, this is going to be a 3-parter, but you're getting 2 parts, like boom, boom, right, one after the other, because I can't make you wait.
Because I love you.
We just love you, and I don't want to make you wait because it's too crazy of a story to not tell you all at once. So the last time we talked to you guys, I was telling you about Lisa Stassi and her 4-month-old daughter Tiffany.
Also, can we talk about how freaking beautiful Lisa Stassi was?
Dropped like a knockout. Stunning.
And just has one of those faces where I feel like she would wave to people in her car. Like I feel like she's like a nice person.
She does.
I do that and Alaina makes fun of me. But I feel like Lisa Stassi would have my back on that.
I love that you're like, you know what? I feel like we have that. I feel that. Yeah, she was, I mean, stunning.
And little Tiffany.
Oh my God, and Tiffany. Tiffany or Heather now. Heather Tiffany now. Oh my goodness, she was just, and she still is beautiful, but she was like, oh my God, as a baby, I was just like, oh my goodness. Well, what we found out was that John Edward Robinson ended up tricking Lisa Stassi into thinking she was going to get into a program that him and local businessmen were running to kind of help her out. She was a single mom. She was going through rough times. She had come out of an abusive relationship. She had a 4-month-old baby daughter that she was trying to take care of. And what he ended up doing was putting her up in a hotel, making her sign a bunch of blank sheets of paper and address a bunch of envelopes. And then what they think happened, and we will find out later why they think this, because they don't have her body. They've never found Lisa Stassi. We do not know where she is. They believe she was likely bludgeoned to death. And then Tiffany, who is now known as Heather, was given to John's brother, Donald, his younger brother, Donald, who was going through infertility troubles with his wife. Donald didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
Donald basically was under the impression that his brother was a business guy. He'd been on a lot of different things in the community. He had a lot of community connections. And he had basically made him think that he had gone through normal ways to get an adoption going.
Because he forged all these papers and everything.
He forged papers with a lawyer, with a judge. Yeah. I mean, he had full-blown adoption papers, and he had him basically pay him money to adopt this child.
Which is so fucked because that just went directly to him and like not to anything else.
Absolutely it did. And I mean, and then Lisa's family started getting letters that were typed apparently from her.
But she couldn't type.
Bunnies. She couldn't really type. They said it just wasn't her in those letters. Obviously she had signed pieces of paper, so he had her signature.
Oh my goodness.
All very fucked up. But so that's where we kind of left you. Everyone kind of stopped looking for Lisa Stassi at this point because those letters came in and she had basically said she was fine. She was starting a new life with her baby and this man named Bill. And John Robinson had told everybody, yeah, she just took off with this guy named Bill to Colorado, and I think they're happy and everything's great. No. So the police were like, well, she's 19 years old. She's an adult. So
meanwhile, she called her, what was it, her mother-in-law that she was on the phone with?
Yeah. So she had gone, just to like give you a little like recap of that, just because it does play in later. So there was a night, it was like a horrific snowstorm. Lisa had left the hotel with her baby daughter to go to her sister-in-law's house. She was kind of telling her sister-in-law that John was weird. She wasn't sure if this situation was what it was supposed to be. Her sister-in-law, Kathy, was like very concerned and was like, yeah, I'd really prefer you just to stay here. But John ended up, because he had also made her write down the names, addresses, and phone numbers of people close to her, he had called Kathy's house looking for Lisa and the baby.
Right.
He showed up in a snowstorm, parked down the way so that he wasn't even in front of the house. And he came and literally collected them.
That's so scary.
And then that same night, she called her mother-in-law. It was either the same night or the night after. I think it was the same night that she called her mother-in-law sobbing hysterically. And her mother-in-law was like, what is going on? And she was telling her, you know, they're telling me that you're going to take Tiffany if I don't sign these papers and like make sure I'm the guardian of her. Like, what? And she's like, I'm not going to take your baby. Like, no, I would never do that. Like, no. Like, they're lying.
Right.
And then she said, do not sign anything.
And she said, I
already did. And then she said something along the lines of, they're here. I got to go.
That is,
yeah.
Can you imagine if that was the last conversation you had with your daughter-in-law?
They're here. Even fathom.
That's so terrifying.
I can't even fathom. And that was the last time they saw her, and they believe now that
Your home should show off who you are. Now is the time to boldly write the newest chapter in your home story. And your main character? It's Ashley. Ashley has styles that balance timeless appeal and modern trends to bring your personal look home. Yes, these are well-crafted and affordable pieces with eye-catching design, but they're also built to stand up to real life. With features like stain-resistant performance fabric, options that are incredibly durable, easy to clean, and stain-resistant with machine-washable covers. Plus, Ashley provides fast, reliable, white-glove delivery right to your room of choice, so you can style your space without any stress. Ashley was nice enough to send us a bunch of new pieces for my pod lab at my house, and when I tell you they deliver it to your room of choice, unfortunately they did have to deliver to the attic, but they could not have been nicer about it. I got, or was gifted, I should say, the Revion Lake sofa and love seat. It's in this like olive colored velvety fabric. It's so nice. I will say it is so freaking easy to clean because if you know me, you know that I have a white cat and a black cat and then a multicolored cat. The white cat loves to just roll all up on this furniture and leave his hair everywhere, but it's so easy to vacuum. I also got the Maylee coffee table. So I have that, like I said, in my attic, but I'm ready to order another one for my living room because this coffee table is so beautiful. It has this like antique old money vibe to it. I absolutely love it. And then finally, I got three actually of the core stone end tables. They have little shelves in them so you can dress them up and, you know, kind of like personalize them to your style. I highly, highly recommend all of the pieces that I got. And I just recommend Ashley in general. It was such an easy process to shop with them and the delivery, all of that from start to finish. It was awesome. Visit your local Ashley store or head to ashley.com to find your style. Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
that night that he took her from her sister-in-law's house and spoke to her mother-in-law, that he bludgeoned her to death.
And there were other people involved.
Yeah, they think so. That's one of the things that has never been proven in this case.
The fact that she said they're here.
Yeah. But they can't connect anybody.
Can't connect it. But for me, I'm like, I don't care.
Like, spoiler alert,
there.
They've never connected another person to him.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. And that does become a thing where we're going to talk about probably in part 3, that they at one point are like, there has to be more people. But then they kind of teeter on that and they're like, no, I think it is just him. I mean, other people are involved in like fringe ways.
Sure.
People that he knew that would like have connections and stuff, but like in the actual act of what he did, some people think that he may have had people do his dirty work at some point, but later it became just him.
Gotcha.
So here we are. So Robinson had kept Lisa and baby Tiffany in this hotel with 2 other women that he had picked up through Birthright and Truman Medical Center, which are like, Birthright was the place for like single young mothers. By all accounts, those other 2 women were doing like all right, in the sense that they were alive.
Like, yeah, that's all we have.
They were still around. We knew where they were. Stephen Hames was the probation officer that we talked about in part 1, where he was the one who knew this guy's number from the get-go.
I love that. I love that expression.
He got his number.
I got your number.
So everyone else was like, he's a con man. He wants to make money. He's just this is just a con man. He's a snake oil salesman. He's not going to like hurt anyone like physically. He's just going to steal from everybody and like screw people over. And Stephen Hames was like, no, this guy is dangerous. He's going to escalate. I know it.
He knew his pathology.
And people weren't listening to him. But what he said, and this is from the book, he said, quote, "What really got my attention in 1984 was the initial call from Birthright that said he was trying to do something very suspicious with a young girl and a baby. This doesn't fit with him. It doesn't fit with a good con man because they go around the block to avoid hurting people because they're smart enough to know the penalties when people get hurt are much more significant." So yeah, he's saying with the way he was working initially was like to get money, get money. That was all he was trying to get. And he was trying to like, pass off this facade and all that. And he was like, hurting people physically is a whole new level. Right. And like usually they don't cross into that. That's not a thing that they do. So but he was like, I knew it. As soon as like things were going awry, I was like, he's involved.
Right.
So that same year in 1984, he met a 21-year-old woman named Teresa Williams. Now, she was in Kansas City initially from Boise, Idaho. They met like kind of offhandedly at like a McDonald's, and he just walked right up to her because remember, he's all about walking up to ladies, flattering them.
Yeah, he was doing it to like his neighbors.
Yeah, he talks very sexually explicitly to them. Like he's gross. And he just walked right up to her. He started flattering her. He said he would love to give her a good life that she deserved, and she was kind of on hard times. So
I'd be like, "You're at McDonald's. Like, what are you gonna give me?
What are you gonna give?" Well, she was like, "I'm basically desperate at this point." So and he is a charmer. You will see. I don't understand what is going on here because he is able to convince women to do outrageous things.
He has like a John Wayne Gacy kind of like
face. He's very John Wayne Gacy-ish.
And you could see how it would be very easy to be schmoozed by him. Like he doesn't look, I mean, knowing what you know now, like you kind of look at him a little differently. But if I saw him on the street, I'd just be like, oh, that's like a dad. Like,
oh no, literally part of the reason he was able to do this for so long is he looks like a friendly grandpa.
He does.
Especially now. And back then, he was a grandfather in the 2000s, so when he was really doing his shit, he looked like a grandpa, which is fucked.
So scary.
And back then, he had a very like, in the book, a lot of times John Douglas like points to the fact that he has like this very round face, which can make people feel weirdly like it has a kind look about it.
Yeah,
kind
it's just
and
psychology.
Very, like, it's just like it's just our evolutionary things that we look at like a round, kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just he has that kind of face, and he has like eyes that almost like sometimes can almost look kind.
Okay, I was gonna say that, and then I didn't want to.
Sometimes they're terrifying.
There's certain pictures where you're like, oh, there it is.
But it's like even like Ted Bundy. Like people thought he was so handsome, which is like, you know, troublesome and everything. But then like people would say his eyes would flash into this like different, like animalistic kind of thing.
All you have to do with Ted Bundy, because of course everybody like that's a big thing that like some people think he's attractive, some people don't. I don't know.
It's like neither here nor there.
It's really not the important part of it. It just became such an important part of his identity as a serial killer because that is how he was able to lure a lot of women to help him. He had a face that you weren't scared of. That's just unfortunately the facts of the case.
The fact those eyes can just switch.
There is one video from his trial, and I point to it every time when people say like, it's so scary, like he looked so like normal and blah blah. I'm like, just look at that trial video where they tried to grab his arm to bring him out of the trial, like, because he's, you know, the defendant, even though he was being his own lawyer. They grab his arm to walk him out of the thing, and he rips his arm away, and the flash face that he gives that bailiff,
like he wanted to murder him right
and
then and
you
there.
Look at that and you say, that's what those women saw.
Yes,
that face right there is the face that all those women saw. The survivors, the victims, all of them all saw that face. And it's like, that's the fucking monster. It's right scary. There. And he hides it real well sometimes, but they can't hide it forever. And it's like, that one video always freaks me the fuck out, because you just see him
on a dime.
It just, and you know that's what they all saw, which is so horrifying. That Scary. It went from like this normal 70s dude to that.
Right.
And it's like
and that's like kind of like eye. This guy too.
It's true. And this guy, and John Wayne Gacy too, he had that like round, you know, kind of plump face, and he was like a good like goofy guy, and just like, hey, I'm John Wayne Gacy. They're all John. Love you, John. My John.
Right.
But like they're all John, and so you trusted John. Yeah. You know, like, hey, oh, it's John.
I mean, Ted Bundy's name is fucking Theodore.
It's Theodore. It's like, just John.
How could you not trust
Johnny
him?
Over here? You know, like that's just, who's gonna get upset about a John?
Goodfellas.
Like, but you should.
Yeah. Get upset about this one.
Get upset about these Johns. But yeah, he, you know, so when he came up to this woman, Teresa Williams, in the McDonald's, he was flattering her. You're beautiful. You know, somebody needs to, you know, lift you up. Somebody needs to like give you things and make you happy and make you comfortable. And like, you deserve love and all this. She was psyched. Now,
obviously.
Remember, he's married with children and still acting like a very good member of society at this point. I mean, he was like, again, a Sunday school teacher. He was part of the homeowners association.
Crazy.
He was reffing his son's soccer games. He was going to church. He was doing all kinds of shit just to be like BTK-ish, like just pretend to be this good dad. But either way, anyways, he had her move into those duplex apartments that he had, because he had several apartments that he would rent. He would also bring girls to these motels, which we'll talk about in a little while. But he had turned these apartments into basically like bordellos. Like he was putting girls in there, and then he was forcing them to perform sexual favors.
Oy vey.
But he was also like pretty out front having her work as a sex worker, kind of just being like with like his friends and clients. So he basically brought her in here and was like, yeah, I'm going to take care of you, but like, this is what you need to do. And she was just kind of like,
what is she going to do?
I don't know what to do. Yeah, you're trapped at this point. And it was all very rough stuff. Like I said before, he was into BDSM, but he was not. And I know I do this every time we talk about BDSM, but I just really think it's important not to like fuck with people's kinks. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I know there's a lot, I'm sure people listening are part of that community, and I don't want anyone to be like, well, that's not what it's about.
Yeah, no, we're not here to offend anybody.
So I always want to say that like BDSM in reality, like a real BDSM relationship is about trust. That's the main thing that is part of a BDSM relationship.
There's like safe words.
Submissives have trust of their doms. Like doms show compassion and trust to their submissives. It's not about like completely owning someone.
It's not like 50 Shades of Grey.
No, and it's not like, it's not inflicting pain without any kind of like pleasure involved or any kind of like discussion or trust involved. And that's not what he was into. He was into owning a woman out of their control, out of their wishes, out of any kind of discussion of like safe words or anything. And that's like really fucked up. And he was also involving his friends who were into this like really intense
offshoot of BDSM. He was involving them with this girl. Like, putting her in this.
This is rape.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's just like torture.
Yeah.
It's basically torture because there's no discussion torture here. And even when he would do, because as we will see, he liked to do, instead of the dom sub kind of thing, he did master slave. Which is a totally different thing. And what he would do is he would give some of these girls contracts, which is typical in BDSM relationships, to have written things down. Yeah. That like, I think it's like, because I did a lot of research about this, because I always want to be like careful to not like
offend, think
I know what that is when I don't. So if I'm wrong on any of this, by all means, like, we never want to get that kind of stuff wrong. But from what I have read is like, there's always some kind of a written agreement or verbal agreement involved where like you tell each other what your boundaries are. Like, right. Like doms should know their subs' boundaries, and they don't cross those boundaries, because the whole point is pleasure with pain, right? Not just pain. And so, and like, there's safe words, there's all that, and it's supposed to be trust. You trust that they're not going to cross those boundaries. He would have a contract, a slave contract is what he called it. Which is really fucked up. And in these things, he would lay out these things that he would expect from his sex slave and what he expected as their master, their sex master. And he would constantly cross all of those boundaries. Those contracts meant nothing. And also the contracts themselves were usually way over the top. And these women were not comfortable with them, but they had no choice. He would just make them sign them anyway. So this is just such a different offshoot of BDSM. It's like even weird to call it BDSM. But either way. So she was being forced to work as a sex worker, living in this apartment that he's renting. All really rough, terrible stuff. And she was in the apartment, which is now being investigated. Like this. Oh, wow. Yeah. So she's in there, and they're starting to get his number a bit. Not as much as they will later, but once Lisa Stassi and her baby Tiffany went missing, Stephen Hames, that probation officer, he was like, now it's time to kick this into high gear.
He's like, does anybody want to listen to me?
And he was like, we're finding Lisa Stassi. Like, he was like, we're finding her and this baby. Because at this point, they didn't know where the baby was either. Right. So he's like, we got to find these people. So he met with Robinson himself in January 1985. And he just blatantly asked him about Lisa and Tiffany. And, Robinson was like, I don't really have any like real information about her whereabouts, but, like, I think she's like off with some guy. But he was like, you know what? I'm just really upset because I'm trying to do this nice stuff, and I'm trying to be like a philanthropist, and I'm trying to help these women. I'm just trying to help my community, and people, it's out of the goodness of my heart. And like, people are accusing me of doing something bad now. Like, that's really fucked up. Like, he was acting like, how dare you?
Dude, it is so wild to me how people not only can lie like that, like I can't lie to save my fucking life.
I definitely couldn't lie like that.
But like it's crazy how people can make you feel insane. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're
it's like full-blown gaslighting.
Like, he's just trying to help them. I'm such an asshole.
Like you're like, oh shit, maybe I'm being a dick.
Obviously, this guy, Stephen Hames, is it?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's realizing that this guy is a crock of shit. But like, if I was in that position, I'd be like, well, I'm a fucking asshole.
You'd be like, well, shit, I'm just accusing this philanthropist and pillar of his community, this Sunday school teacher, grandfather, father, lawnmower, homeowners association president.
How dare I?
Of murdering a young mother and her child and her baby infant.
It's like, just how so terrible am I? Bananas to lie, to have the power to lie like that.
Yeah. Well, and Stephen Hames, of course, was like, so Hames was like, well, what are you getting out of all these like good deeds?
Right, like, why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? And he was like, I just get the satisfaction of helping people. And Hames was like, immediately, no. I was like, sus. Like, he was like, nope, don't feel, I do not get that from
I know the world, everybody wants to get paid.
Well, and also he was like, I know people who do things out of the kindness of their heart.
Yeah. You're not one of them.
You're not it. Like, it's just that you don't, he knows. He was like, I knew people. I had seen a lot of bad guys. I had seen a lot of guys who had made mistakes and came around. This was not that guy.
Right. And it's like, this guy has a past of conning people. Like, you don't suddenly turn around and want to help everybody.
Physically hurting people he doesn't have yet. Like that. Well, he does, but not that they know of.
Right.
But you're still financially, mentally, emotionally, like spiritually, and psychologically harming people. That's a lot.
Right.
So Hames immediately was determined to find Lisa and Tiffany, or at least find out what happened. This was like his new, like, fuck this guy, I'm going to take him down.
Like, this is
and Stephen Hames
goal.
is a big part of this whole thing. And, like, he did not give up on this.
Rock on.
Rock on, Hames. So he met with Robinson again with another probation officer.
The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
And he told them that a man named Bill, he was like, all right, I know more. He's like, the guy's name is Bill, who picked up Lisa. He said he picked him up at the Roadway Inn, Lisa and Tiffany, this guy Bill did. That's where they were, and they had gone off to Colorado, and that's the last he heard of them. He was like, I was going to help her, but this guy came along. They fell in love. They're going to have a family. It's great.
Which sounds like a pretty normal story.
Great.
Like,
you're like, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, they checked with the hotel manager, of course.
Duh.
Because paper trails. And that manager said, well, I last saw Lisa and Tiffany leave with John Robinson when they checked out. Mm-hmm. So lies immediately. Because he's saying
untruths.
This guy checked them out. Like, that was it. No. She's saying, nope, they left with him.
So how would you not think of that, dude? You've been a con artist for how long?
That's the thing. He did think of that.
Oh.
But he doesn't care. But so what if the hotel manager said that? I don't give a shit.
He's like, I'm saying this.
This is what I'm saying. And so far, his whole life, that's worked.
That's crazy.
So what if I don't have any of these credentials? I'm saying I do.
Right.
And you'll
right.
hire me anyways.
He learned that real quick.
So what if I just got arrested and I could face jail time? I won't.
Wild.
That's literally his whole life.
That's
so it's
his
like
MO.
He's just conditioned. Now, during the course of this investigation, they had spoken to several women connected to him that they knew were in the apartments at some point or another because they had been kind of watching them a little bit. And they had spoken to two women in particular who had lied for him and said that at one point or another that Tiffany and Lisa had stayed with them.
Okay.
And they finally talked to law enforcement again and said, we lied. We lied for him. And they said, we want to tell you, but he had shit on us. Like he would take nude photos of us. Oh, that becomes his thing.
This dude
is his
piece
thing.
Of shit.
Whenever he would get a woman out there, he would immediately take nude, explicit, like sexually suggestive photos of them. And then he would use it as blackmail so that they would have to be on his side. They would have to be loyal to him. He would have complete power.
What? That is so fucking twisted.
And to lie, to do this to two women, to make them lie about a 19-year-old mother and her infant baby's whereabouts.
What is wrong with you?
What the fuck? And it's like for them to feel they had to do that, he must have threatened the shit out of them.
Oh, obviously.
So the FBI was already involved here now. Because again, there's a baby involved. Like this is getting bigger, and they had a previous partner in some of his like previous like money schemes. Because again, read the book because there's so many other money schemes that happen that like are just there's so many you can't even talk about them all. He had a previous partner in one, and his name was Irvin Blattner. He was like an ex-con. And so they decided to get in touch with him, the FBI, and they were like, I'm pretty sure we can turn him into an informant because he probably will.
Yeah.
He'll probably sing. Why not? Like if we offer him something, I'm sure he'll be like, sure.
Let's do it.
So then they're going to go through his records. So they're starting to go through his records. They're starting to go through all the scams that he has committed because now the FBI is looking into this and they're like,
oh, dang.
What the fuck, guys? Like, they're like, how the fuck did this dude just float
fly under the radar like this?
So they're like, okay, well, now we gotta do something here because, like, he's clearly escalating and he's clearly been allowed to skate through this life here. So what they do is they set up a sting operation, and they had a female agent meet with Robinson. And this female agent would ask him about getting a job because that was his thing. He gets females who are down on their luck. He says he's going to get them a job, and then something happens.
Boom.
So she posed as a sex worker, and he told her he ran a business that employed sex workers for high-class clientele like lawyers and doctors and CEOs and shit. But he was like, just so you know, the sex is going to involve some like sadomasochism and torture. Like, are you into that? So basically saying she would be hired as a submissive to be a sex slave to a master. Mm-hmm. Then she went back to the FBI with all the wire info because obviously she was wired. And she was willing. She was like, I'll keep going undercover. Like, I'll keep doing this.
Bitch.
What a bad bitch. She was like, I will keep doing this. But they pulled the operation because they were worried for her safety if they sent her like too deep into this.
I would be terrified. If after that conversation, I'd be like, for sure. And then I'd go back and I'd be like, I'm a head out.
I'm a head out.
I'm going to take my vacation this week. No, I need to unwind.
She was like, I'm an FBI agent. I will do this shit. I mean, but they were like, we're going to keep you alive, honey.
That's why I'm not an FBI agent.
Yeah, we don't want something happening to you. So she's a badass.
Hell yeah.
Like, she just awesome. But they were like, no, we don't want to lose you. And they were like, the way he was talking, the way he was negotiating with you was
scary.
Evil. Like, it was evil. So then they called Truman Medical Center staff and they said, hey, those 2 women that you referred to him that are still staying with him, we need to get them out of that hotel immediately. And they were, and they did. They got them out.
Good.
So they were okay. But they were literally like, we need to get them the fuck away from him
right
immediately.
now.
And you need to not refer women to him because we're trying to figure this out.
Imagine getting that call and you're the one that referred them. You'd feel so terrible.
Oh, unreal.
Or like being the person that referred Lisa Stassi. I can't imagine.
That person didn't do her job.
Oh, yeah, because we spoke about that.
Yeah, that person, I think that social worker...
And got into trouble later, yes?
She did, yeah. And that's, she didn't do her job.
Yeah, let's do our jobs.
Let's do our jobs, folks.
When we get paid for jobs, let's do them.
Especially when it involves a 19-year-old single mother and her 4-month-old baby.
Yeah.
Like, let's be a little more
let's clock in that day and get to it.
Let's do all those diligences.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we cross all those I's and we dot all those T's.
Please. No matter how psychotic it makes your writing look.
Exactly. So at this time, in early 1985, randomly out of nowhere, he decided, he made Teresa Williams dress up to the nines one day. He handed her $1,200 and he said, you're going to go to a park. He's like, I have a job for you. You're going to go to a park. You're going to wait in that park. You're going to wait for a limo that's going to pull up and get you. And he was like, and you're going to do whatever that person tells you to do. And she was like, okay. So she did. And a limo pulled up. And she got in. The driver blindfolded her, drove her to a mansion. She went inside, and a man in his 60s, who she was told to call the judge,
what the fuck,
brought her down into a sex dungeon basement that he had. He strapped her to a rack, like a medieval torture rack, and he started stretching her until she almost passed out.
What the fuck?
And she finally released her after basically almost like killing her. And immediately sent her back in the limo, back to Robinson. Robinson was pissed because she didn't satisfy the judge because she was supposed to stay there. Like, he was pissed that she was like being whiny about it.
Being whiny about being stretched.
He took back the money he gave her, the $1,200, and hit her. And it was getting like really rough.
Oh my goodness.
So then he left her. He just left her in the apartment. She's like so upset. Then like soon after this, he randomly shows up at her apartment. She's sleeping. He rips her out of bed, throws her on the floor, stuck a gun in her face that he kept in a shoulder holster, by the way, because, so cool. And she was freaking out, and he told her if she didn't be quiet, he would blow her brains out. And he pulled the trigger in front of her face, and the gun went click. There were no bullets in the gun.
Oh, shit.
He then, and this is a trigger warning for rape, he then raped her with the gun and left.
Oh, no. No.
Now, in March 1985, the same year, Irvin Blattner, the partner that the FBI was going to try to get to turn on him, the previous partner.
Sure.
Turned on him like they thought he was.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Immediately. He signed a statement that basically confirmed that Robinson was the perpetrator of a shit ton of financial scams. He was like, I can tell you every role he has had in every one of these.
He's like, here's financial scam A through Z.
Literally.
Do you have time?
Here's the, every other alphabet you can think of amount. So March 21st to 1985, Robinson came in for his regular probation meeting and was immediately arrested because now they got him. So he was booked into the Clay County Jail. And while he was there, he suddenly was like, hey, guys, I know where Lisa and Tiffany are, by the way. Mm-hmm. Just, does anyone want to know? Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah. And he was like, they're safe. They're doing fine. And they were like, cool. He got released on $50,000 bond.
Why?
He paid it. So now, June 7th, Hames and 2 FBI agents went to the apartments unannounced to try to catch him off guard. Because that didn't work now. He got out on bond. What are we going to do? And so, because they're like, we got to get more stuff. And as we'll see later, the DA, when it comes to like the 2000s, like way later, the DA that they have, Paul Morrison, does it so smartly because he's like, I know that everybody's getting frustrated and they want us just to jump in and arrest him.
But we have to
But
be
he
like,
has slipped through the cracks every fucking time that someone has arrested him. We are not going to be a next in line to let him go free and do this.
Right.
So he like really bides his time and really gathers as much as he can to make sure that it's like airtight and it pays off.
I love it.
So
thank you for that, because I needed to. Obviously, I know he gets apprehended, but I needed
But it's a good payoff
along the way.
That. So Hames, 2 FBI agents in June, they show up at the apartments unannounced. They want to try to, they wanted to see Teresa Williams, and they want to like just try to catch everybody off guard. So she's there, and they ask her about him, and she's lying for him.
Because she's
and
terrified.
saying she works for his company, And once they're like, yeah, like, that's cool. 2 women he worked with previously have gone missing, and we're pretty sure he murdered them and a baby as well, right? Like, you know that, right? Like, you're comfortable with that? And, like, you realize that, like, you're probably likely next, right? Like, he's doing the literal same thing to you. She began sobbing.
Oh.
Told them the whole truth.
Of course.
She told them everything. And then she revealed that after that incident where he, like, raped her with a gun, he showed back up to Teresa, and he tells her he needs her to help him get out of this Irvin thing. So Irvin Blattner, the previous partner that was like singing like a canary, apparently he had gotten wind of it. He went to Teresa and he was like, you need to help me.
I wonder how he got wind of that.
He knows everything, man.
That's crazy.
So he told her, you need to write fake diary entries to discredit Irvin and say he was trying to kill you.
What?
So that when they bring him in to try to come against me, it's all going to be discredited because he's a fucking asshole.
Wow.
So basically, yeah, it's insane. So it would look like, too, on top, it's got like a dual purpose. Because it's like he's going to make Blattner look stupid on the stand if he ever went against him saying all this financial stuff. Because, well, we have this diary that says you're a fucking crazy person who wants to kill this woman.
Right.
And on top of that, if he decides to kill Teresa Williams,
they're going to think that Irvin
now
did
it looks like if she goes missing, it looks like Blattner was the murderer.
Right.
And killed him.
Right.
So he can use it in several ways. So he also had her put all her belongings in a storage place that he had and told his lawyer to find the diary in the event of Irvin testifying in the future.
The fuck?
Like, had his lawyer ready to go get that diary at a moment's notice. Yeah. So for her doing this fake diary entry, Robinson promised, he said, like,
getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl. Or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. Okay, let's have some real talk, just one-on-one for a second. I know you know this feeling. You start your period and the only pad that you have available is uncomfortable. It's like crunchy and weird. We can literally start our car from our phones, but we're still settling for crunchy, uncomfortable pads. Girl, listen, when you're looking for softness and protection, Kotex has you covered. They are changing the game with a completely redesigned lineup of pads and liners that are designed around what women actually want, like Kotex Bamboo. Kotex Bamboo has a 100% bamboo-derived viscose top layer that provides ultra-soft protection, which means you don't have to worry about feeling itchy or uncomfortable. It's like the worst feeling ever. It's gentle on the skin and it's made without fragrance too. Check out Kotex.com for more details on the new and exciting launch of Kotex Bamboo, available in regular, heavy, overnight, and daily liners. Every flow covered. Now available at retailers nationwide.
What I'm going to give you is I promise not to kill you.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's cool. And I'll also take you to the Bahamas on June 15th.
I don't want to go to the Bahamas with you because I feel like you know people out there and it's not really going to be a vacation.
And he was like, you know what? I'll send you to the Bahamas and you can have a vacation. And he's like, you can get away and that'll be your fake death. So that if this really does go the way we need it to,
he was going to
your last entry was going to be June 15th. And then no one will see you again.
He was not sending her to the Bahamas.
No, of course he wasn't.
Wow.
He took all her shit and put it in storage so that he could just make her disappear.
Wow.
So with all of this info, they were like, okay.
She must have been terrified.
Yeah, we can get him on some shit and finally, hopefully get him in jail.
Yeah.
So they moved her out of the apartment immediately.
Thank you.
And he found out she was gone and went fucking bonkers trying to find her. He hired a private investigator to find her. And the FBI had to move her 3 times to stay away from him while they built the case against him.
And you probably just live the rest of your life in fear. How do you ever...
Even when he's in jail, you're probably like...
Because he has so many fucking connections. Who knows how many people she met, too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and he eventually found her himself.
The FBI is hiding this woman and he finds her.
He found her.
Bitch.
And the PI tried to talk to her directly. She came out of somewhere and he tried to walk up to her and talk to her. And luckily the FBI moved her out of state to keep her safe. But literally moved her out of the state to keep him away from her.
I'd be like, can you move me to the Bahamas?
I'd be like, FBI, can I just live with you?
Yeah, right?
FBI?
Seriously.
Can you bring me to Quantico? I just want to can you please? So finally in July, he was charged with violating his probation on several counts, and they ordered 7 years in jail.
Okay.
He was freed on a $250,000 bail and had to see Hames daily. So again, he's getting out of this shit. Then he started his appeals process, and he argued that because they moved Teresa out of state, he didn't get his constitutional right to confront his accuser. Because she wasn't going to come to his court. Duh. In May 1986, Judge David J. Dixon, want to make sure his name's out there, agreed that it was unconstitutional and he was free to go.
We really got to work on that Constitution.
Judge David J. Dixon in 1986, who knows if you're still around. But I hope that do you feel good about that? Because we'll see what happens after this.
Oh, yeah.
So he had to go through another whole court debacle right as this one ended, though. Because now the FBI and Hames and law enforcement were on his shit. And they had dug into those past scams. So now they can keep trying to throw different things at him to try to see if something sticks.
Yeah, they got a ton of shit.
So he was accused of stealing over $50,000 through billing scams. And this, it's so far reaching. This is what I'm talking about. Read the book, because I'm going to mention things that you're like, wait, what? He did what?
Excuse me?
And it's I can't even go. This would be an 85-part series if I did it. But there was some bogus condo sale in Arizona that he was a part of too.
And where was he living? I'm sorry.
He was between Missouri and Kansas. At this point, he was in Kansas.
Gotcha. But so now we're in Arizona.
He had some bogus condo sale in Arizona that he had scammed people out of money. So he was getting in trouble for that now. And I guess he he like sold the condo and then kept the money from the sale or something like that.
Okay.
It was some kind of weird thing. He like pretended to be their real estate agent.
What?
Yeah. And so now he was facing 6 to 19 years in prison.
So he probably took like all the money that was in escrow.
Yeah, literally. I think that's how it worked. So as he's about to finally enter prison, because he is going to get prison time.
Yeah.
In 1987, he killed a woman. So he's on his, like, in between facing these charges, he kills someone.
Okay, that'll do it.
After he was let go, when that judge, David J. Dixon, decided that he needed his constitutional right to face the accuser that he had violently raped, that he killed someone after this.
Okay.
So a woman, 27-year-old Catherine Clampett, was a mother looking to better herself. She had moved from Wichita Falls, Texas to Kansas City to get a job. She had left a child with her parents to do so. She was trying to like get her life together.
Right.
She was staying at her brother's home. His name was Robert Bales, while she was trying to look for work and like get a steady place.
Yeah.
So she ended up seeing an ad that Robinson put in the paper because he
God,
loved to put ads in the
brazen.
paper. He was hiring for his company, Equiplus, and she was like, oh, hell yes. So she interviewed with Robinson, and he hired her on the spot.
That's so sad too. Like, please, for a second, can we think about her like getting ready for this interview, doing her hair all right, making sure she has a nice outfit, trying to impress this guy who is eventually going to murder her.
Yeah, and sitting there and being like, oh, I really hope I get this job.
Like I gotta
this
get
can be
everything together.
Yeah, my child back
Calling
here.
our parents, being like, I've got an interview today.
I think this is it. Yeah.
That's the saddest thing.
Yep. So he hired her on the spot, and she was psyched. But what happened was, like, the hours started getting crazy. She began not coming home at night. Her brother was getting worried. Mm-hmm. And there would be days he wouldn't see her. And she really couldn't give him an explanation when he would ask. And she acted very cagey. She acted very nervous. And he was like, what's going on? Like, what are you involved in? And then she didn't show up back at his place for an entire week. And he called the police and filed a police report. The police interviewed Robinson, but they basically did nothing. They just didn't do anything. They interviewed him and were like, well, no evidence, so bye.
Hey, you have to like look for it a little bit,
Yeah.
I think is usually how that goes.
She was never seen alive again.
Did they ever find her?
We'll get there. Okay. So from 1987 to 1993, Robinson was incarcerated on all those different charges.
Sure.
Because remember, that happened between him basically going to face those charges and him actually facing it. He just quickly did that. So he was first incarcerated in Kansas from 1987 to 1991. This was on like a ton of fraud convictions, like all kinds of financial shit. And then he was incarcerated in Missouri for more fraud convictions and parole violations. So he had to serve 2 different sentences in 2 different states.
I love it.
His wife and kids, his kids were now in college and high school at this point. They had to sell the home and move into an apartment. They stuck by him.
He just ruined everyone's life.
Oh, yeah, because she keeps having to move out of different places.
And to move your, like, 3 grown children into an apartment, I can't imagine.
Yeah, like in college and high school. And they stuck by him, and she kept up the facade that he was a great father, a great husband, a pillar of the community.
I have a lot of questions.
Let me tell you, Nancy does that for a long time. So he was a model prisoner at Hutchinson Correctional Facility, but he had a few small strokes while he was there. Oh. Interestingly enough. Apparently there was no verbal or cognitive issues after them that were noticeable. They couldn't find anything like that really changed much.
Okay.
In fact, 2 really respected psychiatrists in the area, I think their names are George M. Penn, Dr. George M. Penn, and he was the supervising psychologist, at the Kansas Department of Corrections. And then the director of medical services, Kai Hong, which is also a doctor, they said, quote, he was a model inmate who has made the best of his incarceration. He is a nonviolent person and does not present a threat to society. He is a devoted family man who has taught his children a strong value system. His verbal skills were measured in the high average range, performance skills in a very superior range.
So is he basically like he's
very intelligent, very cunning, very manipulative, very able to... He's manipulating two of the most respected doctors in the area.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is he ever, like, formally diagnosed with anything?
No. He was never diagnosed with anything. Because here's the thing, like, he's full... I mean, he's definitely not mentally ill in the sense of not understanding his... what's going on or what's right from wrong or anything. He's very calculated.
Oh, yeah.
Very calculated. And it takes superior thinking and planning to do what he's done for so many years, too. Like, I mean, decades.
Is he like a genius?
He seems like he's definitely up in the
Close.
genius range, I would say. And to be doing what he was doing, it takes a lot of skills.
Unfortunately.
Which really sucks that he didn't use them for something awesome.
Yeah, he could have,
He could have been a great philanthropist if he had actually like if he was not an evil person.
And if he actually cared about fellow humans.
Taken these thoughts he had of like actually helping mothers and children and
carrying that out.
Carried it out instead of just doing what he did.
If he was a different person, he would have been great.
Like a different person with the same kind of skills.
Sure.
And somebody who would use them differently. You know, like it just sucks.
If he was anybody else, it would have been awesome.
If he was literally a totally different person, then he would be great.
Yeah.
He'd be it. He'd be really getting person of the year and like man of the year instead of just making himself person of the year.
Dude, I literally forgot that he made himself
He made his
man
own
of the
plaque.
year.
He made his own fucking press announcement. He fooled the mayor.
I gotta go.
Yeah, he's a lot.
Imagine fooling the mayor.
Imagine fooling the mayor.
Ha, fooled you, mayor.
Fooled you, mayor.
Hey, mayor.
Hey, mayor.
Fooled ya.
Psych.
Psych. That was good.
So at this time, I'm sorry.
I thought that was your coffee that you just threw across the room.
No, I did Old Faithful and I ripped my charger out of the wall.
These plugs.
So Nancy actually ended up losing the apartment and moved the family into a trailer on a farm.
Nancy, it's time to go.
Oh, Nancy's nowhere near going, trust
Sister,
me.
you gotta get out of here.
So when parole came up, they wrote he was, quote, a docile, nonviolent individual who does not pose a threat to society. It is unlikely that further incarceration will be of any benefit to either Mr. Robinson or society. I beg to differ.
Imagine being the human being who had to fucking write that down.
Imagine.
And then
Imagine
now you're
later.
like, oh.
Incarceration will not be of any benefit to either Mr. Robinson or society.
Little did you know.
I have about 5 barrels that are going to disagree with you. Yeah. So that's how much he was able to fool literally everybody around him.
Bananas.
It's truly bananas. He was paroled in January 1991.
Wow.
Immediately, he was transferred to Missouri and jailed there.
Love it.
So, because he was like, woohoo, I'm done. Nope, not done. Now you got to do it in Missouri now.
Everybody was like, psych.
Psych. And he was jailed there at Western Missouri Correctional Facility. He had tried to get out of it by arguing that he was frail and sick. He had strokes. Guys, come on.
He's never looked
He should be
frail.
released immediately. But this judge, luckily, was like, no, bitch, you're fine. Go to prison. So there was a doctor in this prison, obviously, as there are in most prisons, and his name was Dr. William Bonner. He didn't find Robinson to be sick at all. He was like, you look fine to me. You're somewhat plump. Like, you seem like you are very, like, you're good.
Yeah.
Like, because he was literally like, I'm frail. I'm dying. I'm starving to death. Blah, blah. And they were like, you look fine. Like, you look like Santa. Like, it's cool.
You look like Santa.
But he also found him to be an asshole. He was like, I really don't like this guy. But like,
I'm glad
he's a
finally
dick.
someone.
And Dr. Bonner's wife, 49-year-old Beverly Bonner, actually worked at the same prison as the prison librarian.
Squad goals.
Not really.
Oh, damn
So Robinson and her...
You're like, too soon, Ash,
like,
too
nope.
soon.
I was like, sounds like it, but no. So Robinson and Beverly actually figured out that they had worked together at Mobile Oil like 20 years before this.
They about to fall in love.
And so they immediately bonded. She fell for his charm, his charisma.
Was it the prison?
They started a romantic affair.
What?
She is married to the prison doctor, Dr. William Bonner.
She works at the prison.
She works at the prison as the librarian with her prison husband, Dr. William Bonner. And she is starting an affair
with an inmate.
With John Robinson, inmate number blah,
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 blah.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Girl.
So, yeah.
Your husband is a doctor.
I don't understand it.
I am confusion.
Unfortunately, this has a very bad ending, too. He was released from there in 1993, and by 1994, she had divorced Dr. Bonner and moved to Kansas City to be with Robinson.
No, go home.
Who was still married to his wife and not planning to leave her.
Do you know if she knew that he was married or was he fooling her?
I think he was fooling her.
That he was
I'm going to leave her, so, you know. But together, they restarted together a company. She is on the Articles of Incorporation for the Hydrogrow Company.
Wow.
Yes.
That was a twist
married.
I didn't see coming.
And this woman is on the Articles of Incorporation for his company, Hydrogrow.
Like, it's really messed up that he's married, but I'm still at the whole thing where, like, they met when he was an inmate.
Oh, there's so much to this.
I'm still there.
They were both married.
Yeah.
Like, so now she's listed as the president of Hydrogrow. And it's also listing him as James Turner. Because he was a convicted felon, he couldn't use his real name. He also started having her sign blank pieces of paper.
Don't do that.
Which she did without question. Suddenly, her family and friends start getting letters signed by her that were saying she was traveling overseas in Europe for business and how happy she was.
Oh.
They all had foreign postmarks.
What?
But the forwarding addresses were a mailbox in a commercial mail center that was called the mail room, and it was in Kansas.
What?
It was in like a shopping center.
That's crazy.
Robinson had rented this mail room, this like mail space.
Sure.
This one like mailbox, I think, in Beverly's name, and he was using this box to take the $1,000 divorce settlement checks that Dr. Bonner was sending monthly. And it turns out he had used a service that would create foreign postmarks for him.
Yes. So this needs to be a visual medium because I literally am just like waving my hands
Ash is
and
just like losing her mind silently.
What? I just became a mime.
So her friends and family are getting letters that are like, "Hey fam, I'm in Europe. We're having a great time. Oh my goodness." And they're like, "Oh, look at these foreign postmarks. Yeah, they're coming from overseas." He bought those to use and had her sign shit so that he could make it look like they were coming from overseas and had her signature on them because he was having her sign blank pieces of paper.
Wait, no, he didn't even buy them. He made them.
No,
right?
he used a service that created foreign postmarks for him.
I thought you said he created the service.
No,
but still,
he used
either
a
way.
service that created foreign postmarks for him.
What?
Yeah.
The fuck?
He also rented a storage unit and said it was for his sister, Beverly.
No.
He told workers there that his sister was abroad for work and was having so much fucking fun in Australia that she was just going to stay there and never return. And he pulled up one day in Beverly's car and placed a huge metal barrel in the unit and then just left. No one looked into it.
What?
She was never heard from again after 1994 when she divorced her husband and became the president of Hydrogrow.
Do we have a statement from her husband?
We don't.
That poor man.
That
poor woman. Oh my God. That poor everyone.
So.
Oh my.
That's Beverly.
Oh my bananas.
Yeah. So he struck again with a 45-year-old mother and her 15-year-old daughter. Who was disabled and in a wheelchair.
No.
Sheila Faith was 45 years old. Her daughter Debbie was 15 years old and confined to a wheelchair. She had been diagnosed with cerebral palsy and spina bifida as a child.
No.
They lived in Fullerton, California. Debbie was known to be...
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel. confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer.
Debbie's the daughter. Debbie was known to be hilarious, really upbeat. Her doctors were sure that she would walk someday purely because of her attitude.
Wow.
And she was determined to. She wanted to eventually become a gym teacher and was a badass, strong girl.
You're going to ruin me.
And her mother took really good care of her. Yeah. And her father, John Faith, had been an amazing father until he passed away from cancer in 1991. So Sheila was left to try to make ends meet. She was dealing with a lot of medical expenses for Debbie. So she was trying to find a partner to be with because this is a lot to deal with alone. And she just needed to help her little family. So she went to the internet because this is the 90s. It's the beginning of all this. And she would meet guys on there, but none of them were really working out. Then she met this guy online called John Robinson from Kansas City. So he said he had tons of land. He had horses. He was a farmer. He wanted Debbie to be able to ride one.
Farmer John.
And Debbie was like, I'm going to ride a horse someday. Like, that's my thing. He also said he would get Debbie into a special and very expensive school out here that he was going to take care of them. They became very, very close. They talked on the phone. Eventually, he said they should move out with him and start their lives together. Again, this is John fucking Robinson. So in 1994, the year that Beverly divorced her husband, became president of Hydrogrow, and then went fucking missing.
The same year.
They decide to go to Kansas to live with him.
So he had basically just killed.
Literally just had Beverly. Done all of that. That year, he got her to divorce her husband, her prison doctor husband, become president of Hydrogrow, and then he killed her. And then he somehow managed to convince these people to come to Kansas.
Wow.
So apparently Sheila left everything behind when she went and told her friends to just watch her mail and grab it for her just in case this didn't work out. Because she was trying to be like, kind of like, I don't know. There was $1,000 disability check that came monthly for Debbie, like a little over $1,000. And she wanted them to keep track of those. So she was like, just watch my mail. Weirdly, no mail arrived after they left. And they discovered it was all being sent to the mailroom in Kansas. You know, the place Beverly Bonner's checks from her ex-husband were being sent and cashed from.
So he must have convinced her to have her mail forwarded?
Yep.
Forwarded?
That mailbox was now being registered to James Turner. And he had picked up and cashed 152 of Sheila and Debbie's checks.
So $152,000.
Over $80,000 actually, because I think it was like a little, But letters started going out to family and friends of Sheila's with her signature, but they were typed because they're always typed, but they have the signature at the bottom. And they all said the same shit the others said. We're doing great. We're having an awesome time. This is my new life. Everything's wonderful. Now that he had found the internet, and saw that it was working for him, he was becoming a regular in the BDSM chat rooms and shit. He was like very active in those. He did this while Nancy was working her ass off every day at work.
Right. And like, does he have a job?
Yeah. So, yeah. And remember, this is, so he's using the internet to like lure these women. Like he lured Sheila over there and she brought her. Now, at this moment, everyone thinks that Sheila is doing fine.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's going on with Sheila and Debbie. So far, just her friends are getting stuff. Her family's getting stuff. It seems like everything's fine. So that's that.
Yeah.
But people end up not seeing them again.
Right.
Now, he's back. So again, during the day, he's on the computer. He's in these chat rooms. He's luring more women. He's getting into these weird relationships. He used the name Jim Turner, James Turner, and Slave Master. He received and sent a ton of nude photos from various online ladies. He would dress up as a farmer in the picture that he would send people. He got a ton of women to leave other states and come to Kansas City. Tons of women to be his sex slaves, literally. He was rolling in submissives for a while. Like they were a constant stream. Then in 1999, he met Isabella Lewica is how you say it. And this was in an online BDSM chat room. Isabella was born in Poland on April 11th, 1978. She moved to the United States with her scientist parents when she was like 14, turning 15, and they'd settled in West Lafayette, Indiana. Now, she was a brilliant artist, and in 1996, she had enrolled at Purdue University to study fine arts. She had also done like murals for her high school. Like, she was this amazing artist.
Very talented.
She was known to be very shy and kind of kept to herself, but she was also very smart and just out of this world creative. And she dressed really artistically, like she kind of favored a nice like mix of like bohemian and goth.
Girl,
like mix it together. Like she would wear like long black velvet dresses and she had lots of piercings and she would dye her hair black and like she just like went
She's
for
cool
it.
as
She
fuck.
was art on the outside as well.
I love it.
Now Isabella,
that was a really like sweet thing to say.
She was art on the
really
outside.
Cute.
Art on the inside, art on the outside. Now, Isabella was really into BDSM and, like, also into, like, you know, the darker shit, like vampires and death and stuff. Like, she was interested in that stuff.
She was morbid.
Like, I feel it. And, you know, just things that are interesting and different. She was into, like, learning about the occult, into, like, witchcraft and all that. Like, she was into cool stuff. So she was looking for people with similar interests, and sometimes it can feel like that's hard when you're into weird shit.
Yep.
So she was drawn to the internet because it's the 90s. And, you know, it's still like in its stages where everybody's just like getting like really into it.
It's in its heyday.
And it's, you know, and I think these people like the ability to be anonymous and to be able to like live in the fantasy
be
world
whoever
that they
you want to
live in. The BDSM stuff is not always accepted in normal society, or like normal quote air bunnies. But so this is a place where you can go in a chat room, you can do what you want to do. You know, so these people, it was like an escape for a lot of them. Now, chat rooms were fucking huge when the internet exploded.
Oh, yeah, you know all about that, Grandma.
Like, people, hell yeah. Buffy the Vampire chat rooms, hell yes. But people could finally connect with people all over the world who were into same niche interests that you were in.
Okay.
So, because I'm sure you all remember, like, how many different chat rooms there were for any kind of subject you could ever think of.
Yeah, I remember.
And you could even make one. Like, you know what I mean? So if you were into that stuff, you could make one yourself. People would show up, and then you got a friend group, you know, if you were feeling lonely. So in 1997...
I'm alive.
I'm alive. So in 1997, she happened to meet a man online. This was in a BDSM chat room, and she felt like she clicked with him on a deeper level.
By chance, was his name James, Jims, or John?
Perhaps.
I think I just said Jims.
You did, but that's cool. Maybe his name was Jims. So they spoke a lot over the web, and he told her he was an international book agent. He wanted her to, like, you know, be an illustrator for some of his books and blah, blah, blah. And and after a while of connecting, he told her, you know, you should move to Kansas City with me. I could give you a job as a secretary at my firm. Like, you could start a new life. Like, why in Indiana? That's dumb. They don't understand you there. And that same year, she just decided, you know what? I'm going to move to Kansas and I'm going to start my new life. And she told her friends this literally out of the blue. And they were like, well, what? But no one was happy or trusting of this arrangement. Her friends were not happy. Her parents were really upset, but they were like, what can we do? She's just
this is what she wants to do.
Right.
So she was emailing her parents once she moved there, but it was kind of few and far between. So they were like, we don't want to like push her, but we need to know what's going on. So she did tell them she was living at an address on Metcalf Avenue in Kansas. What they didn't know was that she and John Robinson had filed for a marriage license together.
I just blinked a lot of times.
Yep. And she was 19 years old at this point.
What's he, like 78 at this point?
He was in his 50s at this point.
Dang.
So they filed for a marriage license together. He's also married, that whole thing.
Yeah. So he must have done this under another name, right?
He did it under the name John Anthony Robinson, which is not his name.
Now we're getting into Tony's.
Yeah, you know. So they didn't actually get married legally, but it was filed. Like, they didn't actually like go through with like a wedding or anything like that.
But legally they were married.
But no, they weren't legally married yet. Like they filed for the license. They didn't go through the whole shebang.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's just like a weird thing. I think he did it to make her think that they were married.
Right.
You know?
Because that's what I always thought. If you filed the certificate, then I thought you were married.
Yeah, like they filed for the license.
Right.
And then they never actually went through with the wedding or marriage. Then her parents didn't hear from her for like 2 months. And they couldn't get a hold of her. So they drove out to look for her.
Oh.
This is when they found out that the Metcalf address that she had said they were living at was a mailbox and not an apartment or a house.
No.
The mailbox service couldn't give them another address because it's illegal. So they left and they had to go back to Indiana and couldn't find her.
I can't even imagine what they were thinking.
Suddenly they get some emails again from her. But they're like off. Something doesn't seem right. Tone. And especially her father was like, this is not her. So he decides to test this and he asks her to speak to him only in Polish.
Smart.
She does this. She responds in Polish, but it's all short sentences like I'm fine and I'm doing okay.
Right.
And he's not really convinced. And she did kind of let out a few personal details, but as we know, he gets personal details from these women so that he can fuck with their family and friends.
Exactly.
Now, in 1998, she was still around. She enrolled in Johnson County Community College, but she did so under the name Isabella Luica Robinson. Mm-hmm. She went to classes a couple of times, and witnesses said she was wearing a ruby engagement ring and showed it off.
That's so sad.
She told people she was married to an older man. She was like very happy. She seemed like she was psyched.
Yeah.
At this time, she and Robinson had definitely entered into like the master-slave kind of relationship. So he would basically pay for things that she needed, pay for her rent and all that. And in return, she had to be completely submissive to him in every single way. He had to own every part of her. She actually signed a slave contract that had 115 items on it.
Oh.
It literally gave him complete control of her, including over her bank accounts.
But was that what she was into? Like, does it seem like she was okay with that?
She was definitely into like BDSM.
Like
she was into being
BDSM.
a submissive, but this just went further.
Okay.
It went further. Like he had control of her bank accounts.
Yeah.
Like that's far reaching out of the whole thing. And again, he's not bringing these girls to Kansas and being like, what do you want?
No, obviously.
What do you want out of these relationships? You know what I mean? Like if he was doing that and that they wanted to complete control.
Yeah, that's a totally
if they're
different
adults,
thing.
That's their business. But he's immediately taking nude photos of them, immediately making them give all their information over to him so that he has all the power and control. And then he goes, this is what I want out of the relationship. And you just have to deal with it.
Right.
So people saw them around town often, and he would refer to her differently all the time. Sometimes he would say it's his wife. Sometimes he would call her,
like, hey, no, that's not Nancy.
Yeah. Sometimes he would call her his girlfriend. Sometimes his daughter. Sometimes his daughter's friend. Sometimes his niece. Like, weird as fuck.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
So in 1999, he rented another apartment and had her live in it alone. And he told the building manager that Isabella was his adopted daughter that he had rescued from abusive parents.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, Isabella wasn't working, obviously, because she just had to be there for him all the time. So she was just kind of like hanging out a lot. And she started like meeting people online. She was meeting people around town. She was making like friends because she was a cool person, I think. So her friends were into like vampire role-playing games. And she met this group that would actually like live action role play in the woods as like vampires and shit. And she would join in. Yeah, didn't you pretend to be Buffy all the time?
Hell yeah, like RPGs. That was the chat rooms, man.
What was it?
Role-playing games.
Oh, okay.
Ash.
We had chat rooms with like our friend. Like we would like have like chat rooms that are like group messages on AIM.
Yeah, see, no.
I've never been in an actual chat room.
Mine were like always centered around like either Buffy the Vampire Slayer or like horror movies.
I don't even know how you would find those. Because this was on AIM.
Yeah. It was in like AOL. Like AOL chat rooms.
Yeah, I never did that.
No, you were past that era
definitely.
of that happening.
It's probably a good thing for me because I would have fallen victim to some shit.
You definitely would.
I take that. I own that.
Like this shit was all like innocent fun.
Oh yeah.
I think you would have.
I would have
fallen to a predator. I think
probably
and it would have been really scary. So I'm really glad you didn't have that. Actually,
me as well.
And now thinking about it, but Isabella was really into this like role-playing stuff, and I guess this was like literally in the woods. It's like, because LARPing is a thing, like that is like full-on, like Renaissance fairs are LARPing.
Yeah, have you ever seen True Life?
Like True Life, I LARP or whatever it is, but like that's a thing. And I'm like, it looks
fun.
It looks fun. And it's like, wow, to be able to like let your inhibitions and like any sense of like, like you just like let it go and just do something that you enjoy.
It's fucking cool.
I'm like, that's awesome for you. But she was into it. So she was having a good time. She was like meeting people she liked. She was doing what she wanted to do.
I'm here for it.
And he moved her again into a different place, like a duplex situation, because he was constantly having to move these girls so that people didn't get too much of an eye on them.
I also wonder what she thought about the fact that he wasn't living with her.
That was something that did come up.
Oh, okay.
So she would tell people, people are weird about our age difference and like how we met and stuff, and that we're in like a BDSM relationship. So like we live separately because like it's like society doesn't think that it's appropriate for us. So we have our relationship and it's ours, and like everybody.
I feel like he told her to say that.
Oh no, he definitely told her to say that. Yeah,
that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No, of course none of this does. No. But so he kept her in this duplex. And he basically told the property manager at this new duplex that he was going to be having a ton of women there from all over the world because he was training them to help with his international publishing business. They were all going to be like secretaries and other admins. Mm-hmm. But this property manager was like, I only saw Isabella there. Like, he just lied for no reason. So out of nowhere, she suddenly tells her parents, we're not speaking in Polish anymore together.
Why?
And she said, I married an American. My husband is American. I am speaking English because I will only speak my husband's language.
Uh-huh.
And they were like,
she wouldn't have said that.
No, that's not you. They were like, that's weird. So that same year, Isabella told people she was leaving Kansas, people around town. Like, she used to frequent, like, this bookstore that she became friends with, like, the seller and stuff. It had, like, cool, weird occult books and stuff, which I was like, that sounds rad.
I want to go there.
And she told them, like, I'm going to be leaving Kansas. And they were like, what? So, but her parents got emails saying she was traveling already with her husband.
Right.
Now, she was being short and cold with them, and her parents knew that wasn't like her. But she would respond to the emails with, again, a little bit of personal information, just to kind of quell their fears a little bit. And she kept telling them she wasn't going to she was like, they kept being like, what is your husband's name? Like, she wouldn't give them his name.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And she kept saying, I'm not going to give you his name. You don't need it.
No, you do.
And basically she was telling them, I'm pretty ready to like leave you guys behind. Like, I'm pretty ready to like start my life without you guys.
Okay.
And they were like, what the fuck is going on? But in 2000, no one was seeing Isabella around anymore. Not around town, not with Robinson.
Now, and they probably just assumed that she left Kansas.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, it was way more noticeable than the other ones because he had paraded her around town to a lot of places. He broke the lease early on the duplex. And when people asked, he said that she was caught smoking weed and deported back to Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, I don't know about that, sir.
She was never seen alive again. Now, she came to Kansas with a lot of shit, like all her possessions. She had a lot of paintings that she had done, like big paintings. There was one in particular that was like big and orange. I guess it was like massive canvas. She had, like bed sheets. She had like kitchen stuff. She had all kinds of shit that she had.
Right.
he ended up giving all of those possessions, like the paintings and shit, which he, by the way, painted his own name over her name on those paintings.
Are you fucking kidding me? I don't know why that just made me so angry.
That's so beyond.
That is, like...
That's so beyond.
That makes me so mad.
Yeah. He was actually giving her possessions to another woman that he was having a full-blown, like, years-long affair with. While all this is going on, he was maintaining relationships, air bunnies, with
like
dozens,
600 gajillion
dozens
women.
and dozens of women all over the state, while maintaining a relationship with his wife.
And children,
and eventually grandchildren. All while doing this.
Fuck?
This girl, Barbara, this woman was like, she was around for 30 plus years as his mistress.
What?
Yeah. And she was given all of Isabella's possessions, including the paintings with John's.
Imagine finding that out later.
Oh, yeah. Now,
and the fact that he destroyed her paintings by putting his dumbass name on them.
Yeah. And he was having a full-blown thing with this woman, Barbara, and was keeping her at an apartment, too, for this whole time. Wow. Nancy found out about this one. Like, she knew about...
I was gonna say.
She knew about them, but this one, for some reason... I think it was because Barbara had worked for them at one point, so I think it, like, really irked her.
Well, and like you said, it was, like, 30 plus years.
And this one was just, like, maintaining, so she was really pissed. And she actually sent her a letter at one point, being like, stay away from my husband. Yeah. And I guess she laid out, like, we have children together, like, you need to go away. And at one point, he and Nancy were at a grocery store together. They walked right by Barbara, and Barbara said that he pretended he didn't even know or see her and just walked right by her. And she kept staying with him after that. Yeah. Now, on to his next victim. His next victim was Suzette Troughton from Monroe, Michigan. She was 28 years old. She was aspiring to be a nurse at the time. She had battled some depression when she was younger and had she had gone through like weight issues and like body dysmorphia, and had actually at some point when she was younger, she had shot herself in the stomach to try to end her life.
Oh, wow.
But it failed and she was okay. It actually like missed anything of significance, and she took it as a sign to like live your life how you want to live it and like be open, be curious, be a good person. So she decided to do that. And she was like really curious. She always wanted new experiences. She was going to take her second chance at life.
Yeah.
She had worked as a manager in a restaurant while she tried to make it through nursing school. And also worked as a home health aide to the elderly.
Oh my goodness, she sounds amazing.
She had 2 Pekingese dogs named Pika and Harry.
Cute.
And she was obsessed with them. She never went anywhere without them.
Those
they
dogs
came with
are
her everywhere.
Freaking adorable.
They really are. And during this time, she had become interested in BDSM and entered a lot of chat rooms because, again, this is the time. She met a lot of people online. She had a lot of friendships. She had some like relationships online. In 1999, she met Robinson in a BDSM chat room. He told her about his role as a slave master. He said he was part of the International Council of Masters, that like really scary thing, where they were literally like raping women, and how he had a ton of experience being a dom, like she was into it. So they became closer and closer, and he eventually said that, you know, my elderly father is really sick, and I'm looking for a nurse that can like kind of be a live-in nurse, like help us out with him. And meanwhile, his father had been dead for a decade at this point. So he was like, hey, can I pay you to fly out and like pay you to be my father's nurse? Like, we'll hire you. And she was like, oh my God, this is like my chance to step into this role. I want to do this kind of work. So he said he would pay her like $60,000 plus salary a year, benefits, all that. And he was also on the side, he was like, I'll teach you about this like master-slave relationship thing. And she was interested in it. So she was like, sure.
Yeah.
So he also had told her he was going to make sure he was like, you know what, make sure your passport is up to date because I'm going to jet set you all over the world. And he was like, and also,
these promises are like too much.
You can also work at my company, and so we can travel for business. It can all be like written off. So like, make sure your passport is ready. So she was like psyched.
Of course.
Her friends were really skeptical of this and wanted her to not do this. They were like, no. But she decided she was interested, and she was like, you know what? I'll meet him first. I'm not just going to like run out there and live there.
Smart.
So in fall of 1999, she had like a trip out there. She met him. They hung out. He wined and dined her. She thought he was great. Mm-hmm. He was awesome. Nothing bad happened. She went back again that same year for another trip. Same thing. They had a blast. She felt like she could trust him. This is what's really scary, because the amount of people that like meet people online and do end up forming lasting connections, marriages, relationships for life, like partners for life. Friendships for life. Like
you have a friend that you met on chat rooms,
exactly.
don't you?
I have a couple of friends that we like met in the AOL days. Like that was who,
and you're
like,
still
that's
friends.
how we're still friends. Like shout out to Kelsey, and shout out to Charlie, shout out to Marcus. Like these are all people I still
Alaina
talk
just
to.
goes on like a 25-minute like shout out
These
tour.
are all people I like still talk to, and it's like we still are friendly. And but that happens like that's the good part of it,
right? But then there's this whole other side of it.
Then you see this guy meeting this girl twice, having full-blown trips with her, and getting her to trust him and think that this was a great thing. So she decides, I'm going to go work for him.
Okay,
this is great. So he said, cool, bring your dogs with you, because I know they make you feel more comfortable. Like they can live where I'm going to put you up. I'm going to put you in an apartment. It's totally fine for them to be there. I'm going to lease you a vehicle. It's going to be great. Wow. So she arrived, and there was no car for her, and he put her up in a motel room. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have her work with any ailing father, and kept coming up with excuses for why she wasn't starting to work with the ailing father. And he would just show up at the motel, demand to have really scary sex with her, and take nude photos of her, and then just leave.
This poor woman.
So she's confused as fuck. She's like freaking out, and she even ended
scared.
up. Now the motel is telling her those dogs can't be here. So she had to put her dogs in a kennel because the motel wouldn't let them at the place. And she had
that
nowhere
probably
else to
broke
go.
her heart.
Broke her heart. Then he says to her, finally out of nowhere, he says, we're going on our first business trip to California tomorrow.
No, we're not.
And he had her sign 30 blank pieces of paper.
Why,
and
though?
address 40 envelopes to friends and family, because he said, after California, we're going to go jet setting in Europe. And he said, you're going to be so busy that you're not going to have time to write letters or anything like that or keep up correspondence. So we're going to do it now.
No.
And get it out of the way.
No.
And he's so convincing that everybody's like, yeah, you're right. We're going to be so busy. Why not just get this done now?
No.
Like fun. February 30th, 2000, she talked to her mom, Carol, and told her she was leaving for California and then Europe the next day. So that next day, Robinson is seen on camera checking her dogs out of the kennel, paying the bill for her hotel room, and then dropping off some of her things at a storage unit. Mm-hmm. Then he just left the dogs outside of somewhere and let them loose. Aww. They were found.
Oh, thank goodness.
And they were adopted to lovely homes, so that's good.
Oh.
But March 3rd, he looked through Suzette's computer and gathered information about her friends and family, and then he used it to pretend that he was her talking to them.
Dude, this guy is a piece of fucking shit.
He also sent letters to Carol's mother, and she immediately knew it was not her daughter.
Because it's like, dude, these people know their family. Like,
yeah, of course.
I know you don't have actual connections with anybody, but other people
do. And I know your family doesn't really know you because they have a totally different view of who you are, but like these women actually have real connections. Unfortunately, Suzette was never found alive again. And that is where we're going to end part 2.
Girl.
But don't worry, because we're just going to do part 3 right after.
Girl, I need a stretch break. I need a mental break.
It's going to get real gnarly.
What do you mean it's gonna get?
Don't worry.
It's been real gnarly.
It's going to get even gnarlier.
How?
I can't tell you.
Well, you can in 2 minutes.
Stay tuned for part 3.
All right, guys, we love you. We hope you keep listening.
We hope you.
I was going to do it for you.
I know.
Keep it weird. But not so whether you ever sign any blank piece of paper ever again in your whole entire life. I feel like I'm going to find blank pieces of paper very triggering in the following days. Bye.
Just don't sign them.
I love you.
Love you guys.
Blank, blank, bull, 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 bull.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast.
Do you remember in school when your teacher had a favorite of everything? A favorite marker, a favorite element, and yes, even a favorite student? Who wasn't me, so let's move on. I want to talk about their real favorite thing. Kleenex tissues. According to teacher lists, Kleenex is the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. They're silky soft, help prevent skin irritation. And now, with Kleenex Snap and Go, you can take them anywhere. Stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.